some coaches, a razor saw and ballast. What do I need them for? Well, ta-da! I've made a little bit of a start off camera. Now, yeah, I've seen better days of these. Now, I've got quite a few to work with. Just sort of give you a rough idea of what we've got. Now, this was a bundle off eBay. It was like £15 including postage, and there's more than this. This is just what I've selected out to make a start with. But there was all damaged, worn, completely just not fit for purpose. So for a scrapyard that we know we're going to chop up and destroy, I don't think we can go wrong at that, do you? So for this next bit, I'm just going to hand hold the camera just to sort of give you an idea of what the next plan is. So, just because I've had to tip the board up so that things don't fall off, because obviously I haven't stuck them down as of yet. So just bear with me for the dodgy camera work. So we're going something like that to start with. And what I may do is I may chuck that on the top, and that'll be sort of that area done. Obviously these need weathering, they need rusting up, but I think that's going to be easier to do once it's on the back scene, on the backboard, just because it's going to be easier to sort of blend them all together rather than trying to blend them one at a time. Just want to address this quickly, and I'm sure it's already running through some of your minds through what I've just shown. Now, this loco, for example, I have absolutely no idea if that ran the same time as these sort of things ran. Yeah, prototypical. Like, I do not have that level of knowledge, and I'm not too concerned about any of that, to be honest. I'm here, we're having fun, and that's what it's about. So if you know, if you're thinking, well, that didn't run with that, I apologise. I am learning it slowly, but at the minute I'm having fun. Now we need to ballast these points, this whole run of track, that point over there. Let's get on with it. So if you remember in the previous video, I made a mistake by adding the DAS clay to this section of track. It came up alright here. Here, as you can see, it didn't. So I'm just going to do a test to see if the ballast will actually cover it, or whether or not I need to pick it out with sort of a screwdriver or something like that. So let's find out. Right, as you can see, that's not what I was hoping for. No. Right, I'll be back in a bit. I'm going to get all this ballast up, and then I'm going to come in with a screwdriver and pick all this clay out. Well, I'm going to have a bit of a rethink, because I can't even pick it out. I think the best option for me now is to ballast it and just get it heavily weathered to sort of hide it, and I think that should work. So instead of me worrying about it, I'm just going to get on with it. It's the best way, right? As you can see, I am using a ballast spreader. Let's move the camera a bit. I am using a ballast spreader, but for the point work I won't be doing. I'll be doing it with a teaspoon, something like that. Just something where I've got control of it, really. But you've seen me do all this before in board one, so I won't bore you to death. I'll get this time lapsed. Well, the important thing now is to just leave it. Simple. If you see anything that doesn't look right, like for example where it's just run down a bit and brought the ballast out, don't touch it. It's going to clump up and you'll have to rip it up and start again. Let it dry. You can fix the mistakes after it's dry. So I'm going to do the rest of it off camera. Like you've seen that bit, I've time-lapsed it. I've also done it on board one. I'm pretty sure you don't want to see it again. And then when we come back, we're going to fit those parts on here. But for now, I need to leave this for at least minimum 24 hours. The one thing I will say is using the water, it has reactivated the clay. So we also need to wait for that to dry now as well. So for you, it'll be a few seconds, but for me, 24 hours now. 24 hours. Well, what a joke that was. This has actually taken 3 days to dry. So now I need to crack on and finish this bit. So the plan's quite simple. Bit of super glue applied with a cocktail stick, just because I don't like super glue nozzles. And we are going to, if you haven't guessed, glue and stick. Well, that's what we've got so far. My question is now, do I want to just top it off and finish it off with that? I think I kind of do, you know. I like how that looks. And I like the fact it overhangs on the edges. I think I'm going to flip the board back and get that glued in. Well, I'm really happy with that actually. And yes, I do need a shave. The next stage now is going to be to get these coaches and things weathered in. Not forgetting that this is a scrapyard, so it's going to be weathered differently to what you would see with coaches running on the main lines. It's going to be heavily weathered. It's going to be rusted. And the best way to do it, just get on with it. First things first, protect the area. That is not going to stay there, that's just so I can show you what I'm going to be using the products. This is the first one of many. Do not leave this here, because you know what's going to happen. And basically, we're going to go in heavy. This is an enamel wash. Okay, and what's going to happen is we are going to take this back. So it looks a bit brutal at the minute, and it's meant to. Trust the process. Streak and grime. This is going to be very dark compared to what I've already applied. Enamel thinner and a cotton bud. Well, so far so good, I think. It's, oh, wrong way. It's definitely coming along, but it's not quite heavy enough just yet. I'm going to sort of mix the powders with some washes and create a bit of a paste. So I've applied the paste in a few areas, mainly on the top of here, and then just to darken this section of that coach. Well, what do you think to that then? I think that top coat should come out absolutely spot on. I can't do any more now because I'm waiting for a delivery. I've got some things to place on the ground around this area, so I don't want to weather sort of this bottom half anymore until I've got that. So I think for this episode we're going to call it good. Next episode is where this board is going to start coming to life and come its own. Thank you for watching.